God bless everyone. So in this video, we're going to report about political doctrines. So in my part, I will be going to report egalitarian justice, followed by socialism or social justice to be reported by Miss Normala Marcos, and lastly, capitalism to be discussed by Aya Obre Peñas. Equal justice. It is usually taken to mean equal access to justice, which is torn is taken to mean access to law. So when we say equal justice, meaning everyone or all of the citizen in that particular country must be protected by the law. Even if you are rich or poor, the justice will be equal. Next is the egalitarian justice. It is came from the French word égal, meaning equal of level. It is a trend of thought in political philosophy, and egalitarian favors equality of some sort. People should get the same or treated the same or be treated as equal in some respects. So in egalitarian justice, it stated that every member of the community will serve the same rights, opportunities, and most especially access to goods and resources in some respect. It is also based on the theory of universal human communality. So that means egalitarian justice is dili lang siya about sa equality itself, but also there is an essence of quality in common. So without communality, there is no equality. So now let's proceed to the types of egalitarianism. So first is the economic egalitarianism or material egalitarianism. It is where the participants of a society are of equal standing and have equal access to all the economic resources. So it promotes equality of outcomes rather than just advocating equal opportunities. It mostly focuses on the economic view of the participants in the society. So example ani is footballers should not be paid more than nurses, and minimum wage workers should receive pay in line with average pay. Next is the moral egalitarianism. So it is the position that equality is central to justice, that all individuals are entitled to equal respect, and that all human persons are equal in fundamental worth or moral status. So, for example, a disabled person should be treated equally, like respecting them and their dignity, and also treat them differently in a good way, like prioritizing them in line or give them designated seat in the bus so that they feel comfortable. Next is the legal egalitarianism, the principle under which each individual is subject to the same laws. So when we say legal, based on the law. So it means that there is no group has unique legal protection over another. Everyone must follow the same laws with no special legal protection. So dapat fair ang tanan base sa law. So walay dapat dapigan. Next is the political egalitarianism. It is where the members of a society are of equal standing in terms of political power or influence. So it demands that every person has equal standing concerning governmental power. For example, a principal have the authority over their teacher and staff to make choices for the school and grade. So naadjay authority ang usa ka principal over the teacher kay taas man siya rank sa ilahang school. Maong na siya more authority nga i-change ang policy sa school or mga choices sa school. Next is lack egalitarianism. So, a view about distributive justice, what is just or right with respect to the allocation of a good in a society. So the justice demands how people are should be wholly determined by the responsible choice of the people make and not by differences in their unchosen circumstances. So mahimo pud siyang or ma-result pud siya brute luck where in it matters of how risk fall out that are in the sense of deliberate gambles. So next is the gender egalitarianism or zigarchy. A form of society in which power is equally shared men and women, or a family structure where power is shared equally by both parents. So it support equal rights, rules, and responsibility for men and women. So example ani is less occupational sex segregation and similar levels of educational attainment for both sexes. Next is the racial egalitarianism or racial equality. It is the absence of racial segregation. So it means that people of all races and ethnicities are treated in an equal manner. So before lisod jud para sa mga indigenous people nga makisalamuha sa mga tawo nga nagapuyo sa syudad. But now it is part of the law that they ensure that all individuals receive equal opportunities in employment, especially in education. Next is opportunity egalitarianism or asset-based egalitarianism. It is the idea that equality is possible by redistribution of resources. So it means that all people are fundamentally equal in all the resources and opportunity in the society, no matter their gender, race, or religion. So tanan is equal sa opportunity nga naa sa or sa resources nga naa sa usa ka community. Next is the Christian egalitarianism, holds that all people are equal before God and in Christ, and specifically teaches gender equality in condition, church leadership, and in marriage. So humankind were created in the living image of God. They believe that the Bible mandates gender equality and equal responsibility for the family unit and the ability for women to exercise spiritual authority as clergy.
God bless, ma'am. I am Normala B. Marcos from Base East W3. This is our report. Socialism, social justice, socialism and social justice in contract with liberation, socialistic equality to the ultimate political idea in the communist manifesto in 1848, Karl Marx 1880 and 1883, and Frederick Engels 1820-1895. Maintained that the abolition of bourgeois property for building a society that according with political idea of equality. Socialism is a populist economic and political system based on the public ownership, also known as collective or common ownership of the means of conduct. Origin and development. Socialists develop in position to the excess and abuse to liberal individualism and capital under early capitalist communists during the late 18th and 19th centuries. The most famous early socialist thinkers were Robert Owen, Henry de Saint-Simon, Karl Marx, and Vladimir Lenin. Advantage: workers no longer impolite since they own the means of production. All profit are spread equitable among all workers according to his or her contribution. The cooperative system realized that even those who can't work must have their basic needs for the good of the whole. For the disadvantage, the biggest disadvantage of socialism that is really released on the cooperative nature of women's to work. It those within society who are competitive, not cooperative. Competitive people tend to seek way to overthrow and disrupt society for their own gain. Thank you and God bless.
Capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system where private entities control the factor of production, which, with the exception of slavery, where someone else owns a personal labors. So, kapitalism ay isang sistemang pang-ekonomiya na batay sa pribadong pagmamayari o private sectors or private actors na gumagawa ng paraan o operasyon na para makatubo na naaayon sa marketplace. So the class system capitalist society is characterized by two classes. The capitalist class, which owns the means for producing and distributing goods, and the working class, which sells labor to the capitalist class. So there are two characterized by two classes. So the first one is the capitalist class, which is kanang produce or distribute sa mga goods o mga product. And then ang after the working class is which na isal nila ang labor to the capitalist class. So capitalism does not promote equality for opportunity, limiting diversity and innovation. It also ignores external costs, making goods cheaper and more accessible in short run. But over time depletes natural resources and the quality of life. Government should impose taxes to monetize these external costs and improve the general welfare. Private property rights are essential in capitalism, stemming from John Locke's theory of homesteading. Once owned, the only legitimate means of transferring property are through trade, gifts, inheritance, or wages. Private property promotes efficiency by giving the owner of resources an incentive to maximize its value. To protect private property rights, capitalist societies rely on contracts, fair dealing, and tort law. So capitalism is really very important to us because capitalism is a major driver of innovation, wealth, and prosperity in this modern era.